Epa, Super Saiyan chicos and chicas. How you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing pretty damn good. Um, didn't have a video for Sunday, so I needed something quick, and I'm like, let me check some stuff from Sunday V2. I saw one goofy stuff, so here we go. Well, the screen is still black, but I'm gonna link the video in my description. Go follow him and check him out. And check out all his other content. He makes pretty good content. And this one is the stupidest criminals of all time. So let's get right into it.
In 2009, Matthew McNally and Joey Miller robbed a home in Iowa using masks drawn onto their faces with permanent black marker. Whilst
That already started perfect. That's how you do it. You always, anytime you're gonna go rob someone, you make sure you use marker. There's no way they can tell that's you. Just draw. Perfect. Matthew McNally and Joe Miller. Amazing smart people.
on the run, the two discovered that permanent black marker doesn't rub off easily, leading to their simple arrest and embarrassing stupid mugshots. However,
No.
these two still look like geniuses in comparison to some of the other idiots we've been talking about.
No. That was smart. They were big brain, alright? Big brain. There's no way they could catch you. Alright? Big brain.
As we discuss the stupidest criminals of all time. Take for example MacArthur Wheeler, who robbed two banks in broad daylight.
Why do they have the funniest name? MacArthur Wheeler. Like Joey Wheeler from Yu-Gi-Oh!
As he thought that pouring lemon juice on his face would make him invisible to cameras. When shown the bank surveillance footage, Wheeler refused to believe that he was visible.
No fucking way. There's no fucking way he thought that. There's no fucking way. Who in the right mind think that pouring lemon juice makes him invisible? Who? What cartoon? Because I've never seen this. No wonder his last name is Wheeler.
Stating to officers, "But I wore the juice," believing that as long as he didn't come near a heat source, he should have been completely invisible. Police concluded the Wheeler was not crazy or on drugs, just incredibly mistaken, with the lemon juice mistake eventually costing Wheeler a 24.5-year prison sentence.
Holy shit. 24.5 years prison sentence. He must be making lemonade. When he comes out, I hope he starts a little lemonade stand.
However, if we're on the topic of terrible disguises, then we can't go past Dennis Hawkins, whose disguise as an old lady wasn't much better. His sweater accompanied fake boobs, a full beard, and fittingly clown pants, with this insanely recognizable outfit helping police to catch Hawkins only an hour after the robbery.
To be fair, you could be an old lady with full beard, alright? Just to be fair.
The police chief for the area stated, "He would get my nomination for dumbest criminal, I think. You still have his black facial hair with a blondish wig. Definitely different."
You could do that. You could do you change your color of your hair, but you don't have to worry about your beard.
Different is also a good way to describe Patrick McGuire's disguise, who robbed an Illinois convenience store while covering his face with a clear plastic bag. He was only able to obtain $60 from the robbery. However, due to his extensive criminal history, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison for the stunt, meaning that he had to spend 1 year in prison for every $4 stolen from the store. Talk about a bad return. Equally bad was Paul Singer.
60 years for what? A year per every $4? Jesus Christ.
Sinclair's, who attempted to rob a bank in Florida by using his fingers curled up into a gun shape. The quote-unquote weapon was so non-threatening that the bank teller gave him only $120, after which he'd flee on foot before being caught by police only 10 minutes later.
No, I can imagine what he did. So he came with his imaginary gun. Freeze! Give me all your money. And then he got his imaginary car, which was probably like a gaming chair. He just got there, got a Wiimote with a little thing for the steering wheel. He just sat there like a freaking moron. Oh god, these people are freaking insane.
Then there was James Blankenship, who thought that robbery was
Their name is freaking stupid. James... what was it? Lanking shit? Lanking, chinking, some weird shit. He thought robbery was legal. Good job, bro.
Legal as long as you did it at a certain time of day. Back in 2013, Blankenship broke into his own mother's home, after which the police were called, who would take to their Facebook page later that day to explain what had happened. He fled the scene upon seeing his mother. The male was located under the house hiding in a crawl space. When advised of his charges, he made the statement, "I thought you could only be charged with burglary if you break in during the night time." Blankenship was given 180 days in jail and ordered to pay a $100 fine, yet this wasn't the only time when a person was dumb enough to think that a law didn't apply to them.
So he broke into his own house, that was just freaking stupid, and got caught by his own mother. They snitch on him.
Because when Reuben Pavin was caught stealing from a charity thrift shop in New Hampshire, he'd state that he thought everything was free because of the name of the business, Finders Keepers. The sign did say Finders
Yes! Yes! That's how it goes. Yes!
Keepers. So I took that DVD player, took it home, Pavin told the local TV station. A couple of weeks later, the stuff is still there on the porch. So I'm thinking to myself, Finders Keepers. They probably just put stuff out there for people to take. The business responded via Facebook stating, "This man who was caught on video is saying it is all a misunderstanding. He thought everything at our store was free. Is that really the best defense he could come up with?"
I think it's the best defense. They should change their name. Finders Keepers may not be the perfect name for them, and then leaving stuff outside. I think the guy deserves, like, to keep the stuff and not be charged. He Finders Keeper.
After which Pavin reportedly turned in the stolen goods to police, holding that he's not a bad person or a bad dad, and is rather just unbelievably stupid. But was he as dumb as Derek Mosley, who in 2013 attempted
Mosley, why? The names are stupid.
to rob a store named Discount Gun Sales by using a baseball bat.
Oh, yes. Go into a gun store with a baseball bat. Yes.
When Mosley allegedly barged into Discount Gun Sales and smashed the display counter with his baseball bat, the store manager simply pulled out his own personal firearm and pointed it straight at the would-be robber, holding Mosley in the store until he was arrested and charged with first-degree robbery. A similar story then came out of Texas in July 2022 when a gun store was robbed at knife point, although this tale instead ended in a body bag as the robber was fatally shot by the store owner as he tried to exit with his loot.
Yo, what a stupid thing to do. It's funny until that happens. Like, you actually end up in a body bag. Even though the other guys that went to prison for so long is pretty bad too, but still.
But what happens when you accidentally call 911 whilst committing a crime? Pocket dialing the police is probably a fairly common occurrence. However, for Carson Reinhardt and Nathan Tekla-Merriam,
those last names, man.
It happened at the most unfortunate moment, specifically while they were breaking into a car. The alert dispatcher soon realized that the call was an accidental one, and moreover that the guys on the other end might be up to no good. For the next 35 minutes, the dispatcher stayed on the line, listening and gathering information, as Tekla-Merriam and Reinhardt did the following.
Tekla-Merriam and Reinhardt
discovered a car that they thought they could burglarize, discussed how to break into the car, allegedly broke into the car, exclaimed in delight over finding narcotics in the car, became confused as to how and why a police car was following them, and reacted in disbelief when the arresting officer revealed that they'd been on the line to 911 the entire time.
They should just put in as the meme, the whole thing that goes like, that meme that goes like, "Congratulations, you played yourself."
Scott Simon found himself in a similar situation, although under much more severe circumstances. Whilst on trial for murder in 2015, Scott was successfully sentenced to life in prison, as 2 years prior he'd pocket dialed the police while admitting to a friend that he was the one who committed the crime.
Bro, if you're like, why would you admit it to anyone? Like, okay, criminals should go to prison and stuff like that, pay. But, like, let's say you get away with it. Shut the fuck up. Like, just don't say shit. Like, let that disappear. And how did you pocket out? Like, I've never pocketed out the cops ever in my life.
He had no idea he called 911. A sheriff's office spokesman
The Miami
told
Herald.
Herald. He basically told on himself, as did Albert Bailey, although in a much stupider way.
Oh,
Bailey had planned on robbing a bank in Fairfield, Connecticut, although rather than exercising the element of surprise, he'd call the bank prior to the robbery stating, "I want $100,000 in large bills and no die packs. I'll be sending someone into the bank to get the money. Don't call the police, we are monitoring the police scanner."
That's the stupidest shit he could come up with. He basically gave himself away.
Prior to making this phone call, Bailey had already served 7 years in prison for a previous bank robbery. However, this new plan was equally ineffective, as after arriving at the bank to collect his cash, Bailey was locked inside, arrested, and sentenced to another 9 years in prison. Although, if he wanted to avoid this time behind bars,
He's a freaking idiot for even thinking that that was the smartest thing, but oh my god, what the hell's the matter with these two? Especially on this guy to the left, like his. First of all, god damn, those are some big ass ears. And then he has a band-aid on his neck. And he get run over by like a car or some shit? Like he has like skid marks?
he could have had a chat with Tito and Amanda Watts.
Tito. It's Tito, by the way. If you speak in Spanish, it's Tito. But he doesn't look Latino. Tito.
Who got arrested in Florida for selling tickets to enter heaven at a price of $100.
Are those like bricks?
Tito Watts said in his police statement, "I don't care what the police say. The tickets are solid gold. And it was Jesus who gave them to me behind the KFC and said to sell them so I could get me some money to go to outer space. You should..."
Yes! Yes! Jesus was behind KFC and selling fucking gold. I mean, giving away gold for outer space.
Should arrest Jesus because he's the one who gave me the golden tickets and said to sell them. I'm willing to wear a wire and set Jesus up. The couple had apparently earned over $10,000 from the stunt.
First of all, I am very, very impressed that they actually made $10,000. Like, whoever, like, I honestly, if they actually were able to dupe enough people, because it's $100 per for those bricks, right? 10 of them is 1,000, right? So 100 people will be 10,000 if my math is correct. If 100 people actually fell for that, like, they deserve to stay with that money. Like, dead serious. They deserve that money. I would not arrest them. I would be like, nah, you guys deserve it if someone falls for that.
Meaning that they were able to find people even dumber than them, one of which might have been Ruben Zarate. While attempting to rob a muffler shop in 2008, Zarate was told that the shop couldn't access the money safe without their manager, who didn't begin his shift until later that afternoon.
No, don't tell me he waited. Do not tell me he just waited for the manager to come in.
Instead of bailing on the robbery, Zarate instead gave them his phone number, asking them to give him a ring the next time the manager was in. They did so later that afternoon, although after returning to the store, Zarate received no money and was instead met by police and charged with aggravated robbery.
He's such a freaking moron.
Then there was the man who gave the people he was robbing something even stupider. The unnamed robber walked into a London bank carrying a gun and a bag, which he'd take to the front desk before demanding £700,000 in cash from the bank worker. But after making his demands, the crook handed over his gun to the cashier instead of the bag. Investigating authorities stated, the guess is that he is very inexperienced and panicked when he approached the cashier, handing over his gun instead of a bag by mistake. But it was Trevor.
Yo, what a mistake. I feel bad for him. He must have, there had to be a reason why he was even bothering to rob a bank. I feel bad for people that actually feel like they have to go that far to make money, but damn.
Jones, who left an even more damning piece of evidence at his crime scene.
Oh,
after breaking into a house in
What did he leave? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. He took a shit.
Atlanta, Jones took a moment to check his Facebook on the owner's computer.
Well, that's way worse than taking your shit.
Before leaving without logging out. Less than 3 years later, a similar story entered news headlines, reading a 26-year-old Minnesota man has been tracked down by police after leaving his Facebook profile logged in at a house he allegedly robbed, although this story has a much funnier ending. The homeowner decided to message the robber via his Facebook, stating, "You left a few things at my house last night, how can I get them back to you?" which was followed by the robber agreeing to come back to the home so he could collect the stuff he forgot. However, the robber
They have to be very stupid. Like, who will... Okay, don't worry, bruh. I got your stuff. Just come back. Don't worry. You robbed me. It's fine. Ah, god damn. And who goes into someone's house and decides to, like, either take a shit... Well, this hasn't happened. I don't know, maybe. But, or you log into their social media account with their address and everything. I'm surprised no one logged into a bank account.
But didn't get any of his items back and was instead arrested while still wearing a watch that he'd stolen from the night before. While both of these idiots used social media poorly, at least they didn't brag about the robbery in a YouTube video, as is what happened in the bizarre case of Hannah Sabata. In 2012,
of course.
at the age of 19, Sabata stole $6,000 from a bank in Nebraska, and while almost anybody else would have simply kept quiet, Hannah instead took to her YouTube channel Jelly Bean.
I just stole a car and robbed the bank. Now I'm rich. I can pay off my college. I don't know the rest. $6,000, it does not make you rich.
To upload a video titled Chick Bank Robber, in which she'd straight up admit to having just committed a robbery. She'd then discuss her entire methodology for the crime, while showing the money and the amount that had been stolen, before concluding the video by describing the vehicle she had used and that it had its license plates removed. This information eventually resulted in
Look her getting arrested with a smile. I'm not sure if that's the same chick, but she had purple hair, but...
Hannah Sabata's arrest and sentencing of 10 to 20 years prison, done so in a public
Oh, that is her. Well, freaking nincompoop.
courtroom filled to maximum capacity with people who had seen the video. Just 2 years prior to this, 21-year-old Frank Singleton was being released from Palm Beach County Jail, having just served time for a trespassing charge. The only issue was he didn't have a car to leave the jail, so he decided to steal one from the visitors' parking lot.
Big brain. I don't have a car. Let me just take one of these and free.
Yet the car he decided to steal was a manual, and he could only drive auto. Singleton sat in the car looking like an idiot before being arrested and sentenced to a further 6 years in prison, telling deputies that he tried to take the car because he didn't feel like walking to his home about 6 miles away. And while you may be sat here
damn. Don't they have like a Uber or something like that? Like when you get released, don't they provide transportation? Like if they don't, they should.
Thinking that these criminals can't get any dumber, it's time to introduce 53-year-old Michael Anthony Fuller. While it's common knowledge that the US banknote doesn't go any higher than $100, Fuller had the genius idea to create a counterfeit $1 million note before trying to use it at his local Walmart. He loaded his cart with a vacuum cleaner, a microwave, and various other items totaling $472 before handing the $1 million note to the cashier.
Yeah, because Walmart, any cashier, have a freaking, I don't know, $400. They have to have like 990 something, I don't know, a lot of thousands of dollars, which Walmart would never have.
Expecting $999,528 in change. Needless to say, Walmart wasn't able to facilitate this, and instead store staff called police. Fuller was later charged with attempting to obtain property by false pretense and uttering a forged instrument.
Don't even think of committing a crime. That's stupid. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. Really good video. Sunny V2. His content is pretty good. I watched a few of his videos, and I'm gonna keep watching once in a while. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Well, let me know in the comment section, and see you guys in the next one. Love you guys, and Super Saiyan Gang. We're out.